You're listening to KZOM, Oleander Public Radio.
You weren't meant for silence. Find your sound, new or used, or something in between at reverb.com. The noise you were born to make is waiting.
Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to People's Guide to the Cthulhu Mythos. I'm one of your many hosts, DB Spitzer. Today, we will be talking about Cthulhu Mythos stuff and one spooky movie. So join us at People's Guide to the Cthulhu Mythos. You can check us out online at pgttcm.com or look for People's Guide to the Cthulhu Mythos anywhere you find podcasts or social media. We're not on all social media, but we're on the ones that most people use, or at least the ones that I use. So, yeah. To my virtual right, as you just heard laughing, we have Aunt Gore. Aunt Gore, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. Farmer Dave is next to her. Farmer Dave, how are you doing?
So I just spent an hour and 45 minutes of my life in the DMV.
Oh, okay.
And I will say this. Oregon DMV is much better than California DMV.
Yeah.
But I start playing head games so I don't go crazy waiting. And so I started doing, at least in my head, not out loud, so I would not get arrested, sort of a Lynchian monologue where, and then I said to the clerk at DMV that Bob, spelled backwards, is still Bob. The clerk gasped in horror. They'd always been afraid to look in the mirror, but now they knew why. It's the little things that keep me sane.
So I have to go with my personal experiences of DMVs. Arizona, or at least Phoenix, Arizona, had a terrible DMV when I was there. Minnesota has a fairly good DMV, the one that I was at. Oregon, doesn't matter where, I've always had problems with their DMV. And Washington State, at least Southwest Washington, generally has a pretty good DMV. I mean, they're huge, and you wait for a long line, but they try and get you through as fast as possible. And it's like, oh wow, there's actually people employed here. This is crazy. But I don't know, Laura.
Yeah,
you may have different experiences with Washington than I have.
Yeah, same. Because I swear it was actually a smoother and easier process in a bigger town, city, whatever.
Yeah.
Than small town Gallatin, Missouri, or small town Iowa.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I get that. All right. We're not here to talk about DMVs. No, we're not going to talk about DMVs at all. We're talking about a picture in a house and a cabin in the woods. Are they related? No, not at all. They both happen to have in them.
There's some hidden things.
Yeah.
In the movie that may or may not reflect to this story.
Okay. All right. First up, we are talking about Picture in the House. One of the easiest to adapt to film Lovecraft stories ever. All you have to do is have a person walk into a house and then two people talk. I joke about that. This is H.P. Lovecraft's version of torture porn or Texas Chainsaw Massacre or that kind of genre. And
it's a slasher movie. A slasher short story.
It's like the intro to a slasher film. It is what it feels like when they let you know who the killer is early on, and more or less you're reacting to people coming onto the killer's property. That kind of slasher film. But
I feel like it's probably the most inspired of like all the like horror movies like that are inspired by HP, this is probably the main story that like all of our favorites are inspired by.
Oh, sure. Sure. Yeah. No, this is the one without the tentacles. This is the one without night creatures. This is the one that's just like, seriously, you and a friend could go film this in someone else's house, no problem. Just, maybe edit rain sounds while someone's walking in, do some scenic drone shots, or, outside of a car door, just driving through landscape, and do some dialogue over the top of it, and, have the car break down, whatever, have someone be like, hey, can I use your phone? Hello? Is anyone in here? I think this house is abandoned. Yeah, no, it is the story of someone who is not Carter, not your H.P. Lovecraft stand-in, nothing like that. This is someone who, although it does sound like someone like H.P. Lovecraft who is traveling around the country and just kind of doing not necessarily archaeological, but like historical research. And
if Lovecraft could ride a bike.
If Lovecraft could ride a bike, this would be Lovecraft. But no Randolph Carter here. This is definitely kind of one of those stories that is so much inspired by Poe. And I've read some people say that it's inspired by a particular story by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and I've read that story, and I don't understand how the copper trousers, or whatever it's called, is would be considered anything like this, other than the fact that like how they describe like a dilapidated house in some ways is kind of reminiscent, but that's about it. This does feel very kind of like Poe-ish, but not the setting that Poe would necessarily use, but just kind of like the descriptions and the tone and the mood. But I don't know, I feel like this is kind of like the kind of thing where someone reads someone else's description of cannibalism and goes, ooh, I want to put that in my book, which I think effectively is what happened here. Dave, I'm going to let you talk for a while.
No, more or less is, and I think the question that Lovecraft is asking here is, did the books drive the old man crazy?
Yeah.
Or was the old man crazy, so he surrounded himself with books?
Yeah.
So the stories that I kind of connect this with come later, and this is, I think, the closest Lovecraft comes writing by himself a slasher movie.
Yeah.
Or slasher book, excuse me, with a co-writer, which I don't think he thought of the idea. It reminds me of The Beloved Dead.
Okay. And the Arthur Conan Doyle story I was thinking of is the copper beaches, not the copper trousers.
Yeah. Is it beaches an English word for trousers, or I guess that's breeches?
That would be breeches, yeah. I think that's what my brain was thinking. It was like the copper breeches, but yeah. But yeah,
and it's never said officially, but I can't believe that this doesn't influence Block, or subconsciously Block.
Yeah.
When he wrote Psycho.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
And Block looked up to Lovecraft almost as a surrogate father. So he obviously read it. He obviously wrote about it to Lovecraft, even though this is 10 years before him hanging out with Lovecraft via the mail.
I wanted to say that Lovecraft himself says that some of this comes from Nathaniel Hawthorne and Poe. The other thing I wanted to point out is this is the first instance of Miskatonic Valley and Arkham, Massachusetts. So yeah, that's a cool thing.
Also, I think it's very important because, it was written and one day, December 12th, 1920.
Sure.
But it's published in, I think it's the National Amateur, in the July 1919 issue, which proves Lovecraft was a time traveler.
Time travel. Yep.
Or that the National Amateur was just 2 years late in publishing and didn't actually publish it until 2021.
A small publication?
I choose to believe
No.
Time Traveler.
I've got summer 1921 is when it was published, and it was written December 20th.
But the date on the magazine says
Oh,
19.
okay, I gotcha.
The magazine was 2 years. Time Traveler.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah,
That makes a lot more sense.
In reality, they published their 1919 summer issue for some reason 2 years later.
Okay.
But
fun stuff. What was I gonna say? The old man in the house uses like this archaic Yankee dialect that's kind of hard to read, which is kind of fun. And I don't know, I like to imagine Lovecraft walking around his house by himself trying to talk in a old Yankee dialect that even by the time that this story came out was like archaic. It would be like, I don't know, us talking in an old Yankee dialect. I don't know. I can't think of anything that would be accustomed to that. But no. And it's suggested that the Bigelow Papers, James Russell Lowell's Bigelow Papers, which are about old Yankees discussing stuff in a humor manner. It was written in 1848, but it's supposed to be like stuff that was going on earlier than that, and that used a archaic dialect that Picture in the House is a pretty good example of. But I mean, that sounds like Lovecraft. That sounds like the kind of stuff Lovecraft would have been like, oh, I've got a huge library, or I've had access to a huge library, and I know where other huge libraries are. I'm gonna go look that stuff up again and then try and imitate it for the old man. But for those who haven't read the story and don't mind being spoiled, I'm going to tell you about it. If you don't want the story spoiled, I don't know, fast forward about 5 minutes or so. And if we're talking about the movie, rewind a little bit. Pretty much the story is about a historian whose bike needs to not be ridden as it is terrible weather outside, which does lead into some stuff later. Man finds an old decrepit house from a long time back, goes inside, assumes that it's possibly not occupied. Either no one lives there or no one's there right now, and is trying to find if someone has a phone or anything, or at least just to wait out the rain.
Get out of the rain.
Get out of the rain, yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute. Does the story have anything to do about a phone, or do I fill that in myself? Anyhow.
It would be. I don't remember rereading the phone, but that's it. Lovecraft is hitting a trope here that is going to be used so much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We start tying with the phone and cell phone, but this is like 105 years early.
Yeah.
The isolation trope.
Yep. No. Definitely. So, the historian goes into the house, and an much older man, comes down the stairs from upstairs and starts talking to the historian, and starts getting into some kind of creepy stuff, talking about cannibalism, and really wants to show the guy a book. And there's something dripping from upstairs through the ceiling into downstairs, and it is it's inferred that it's blood. And then the story kind of ends with a lightning strike. A lot of people say, oh yeah, that's totally Fall of the House of Usher, and I'm like, yeah, sure, but it could be a lot of other stuff too. Anyway, in the end, the ancient house is destroyed by lightning, and that's just where the story ends. There's really no follow-up. There's no anything. There's no story, tacked on bit about police uncovered a house and found that the cellar was up to the rafters with human bone, or nothing like that. No creepy follow-up. No nothing. No hint that this guy's like hundreds of years old and stays alive by cannibalism. None of the tropes that we would be used to by now that that are common in kind of isolation, fear of rural people, which, between this and the Dunwich Horror, you could tell Lovecraft is kind of like, hill folk. Yeah. Oh, and the lurking horror, I believe, or, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's a few stories out there that kind of feel kind of like this in some way, of like Lovecraft being like, people who don't live in the city are gross.
Mm-hmm.
They're uncivilized.
Yes. Yeah.
This old man is closer to these cannibals than he is the antiquarian who is visiting them on his bicycle.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Antiquarian, yeah. So, I mean, this is one of those stories that I feel like Lovecraft wrote, but anyone could do a variation. I mean, any writer could do a variation on it. It would be a totally different story. It would just, just kind of like the isolation of like, oh, I'm in a house with a person I don't know, and they're acting weird, and no one's around. I'm so far away from civilization. If something happened, no one would ever find out.
And we've all been there.
Oh yeah.
Every one of our. I don't know you. I won't speak for you. I mean, not talking about the two people I'm talking to, but yeah, we've all been there, like, and I was talking to a friend at lunch yesterday. He goes, yeah, and then I realized this guy could have killed me at any time because no one else knew I was there.
Yeah.
Well, like we were talking about, like how many movies are like inspired. Like this is just a very short list, but things I was thinking of, like Cabin in the Woods, which we're going to talk about.
Sure.
Yes.
Evil Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I mean, like The Rain, like everything about like Cannibal, Psycho, The Hills Have Eyes. I mean, there's so many classics.
A bicycle not being able to go any further because of the weather is not too different than like the car breaking down or something of that nature, or hey, look everyone, a house.
The technology we bring into the danger zone fails us and makes us vulnerable.
Yeah.
Me and my friend on the top of a mountain, when my radiator goes out, and she looks at me and she says, well, as long as we're going down the hill, Dave, we don't need an engine, do we? And me saying, no, we don't. And coasting a Jeep, 6 miles down a hill in California because we were afraid we'd never be found otherwise.
Yeah. But the Picture in the House, it's one of those stories. You can go to just look up Picture in the House, and there is a illustration from Regnum, Congo, and it has a scene of an African butcher shop with human meat on display, and it's supposed to be from 1598, and
pitas or something.
Yeah, and there's another book that has like a similar illustration that's based off of that description. Yeah. And it's gross. It's gross.
So here's the other thing is, I thought, this is just how Lovecraft wrote in 1920, 1921.
Sure.
But, the story he did right before this was the Lovecraft,
Yeah.
which is practically the surreal prose poem. So there's a huge change in style. And I think I'm the one that says Lovecraft kind of stays in his lanes. But in those lanes, he can swerve around.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, no, I mean, it's probably, I won't say it's one of Lovecraft's strongest works, but it is definitely an effective piece of horror.
It works in ways his other stuff don't even try.
Yeah.
His others try to work other ways.
Yeah. But I don't know if Lovecraft was just like, oh, this is too easy, or it's just like, well, I want to write about this, or what. If he wanted to do more fantastical stuff because of Lord Dunsany, or if he wanted to stay away from Poe-ish type stuff just because he didn't want to be like, oh, yeah, he's just copying Poe, a Poe pretender. So, yeah, no, this is really cool. It's and so much of it is kind of like, oh, hey, in other places, there's these mausoleums, there's these ruined castles, there's dark, black, cobwebbed steps going into forgotten places, there's haunted woods, but guess what? You could go to the middle of nowhere in Massachusetts and run across stuff that's even scarier.
Absolutely. And yes, that there are spots where civilized men go, but civilization has not.
Sure.
And to Lovecraft, and obviously I think he's wrong about this, civilization is what protects us. I believe a contemporary of Lovecraft said, we live in a society. But, okay, the Joker was not a contemporary of Lovecraft, except for certain versions.
Sure.
But that's it. This guy left society. What happens to him happens to him.
Yeah.
And it's purposely ambiguous.
Yeah.
But the ending I got is, yes, that even though this guy is old, he's obviously going to be able to take on some city slicker.
Yeah.
And the only reason that this guy survived, the storyteller survived, is the house got hit by lightning and he ran.
Yeah.
But he could also be a spirit. He could be telling us from the grave. He could be, haha, I tricked you. I'm just using the first person narrative. And haha. So that's the way I always interpreted the story.
Yeah, I always interpreted it as Lovecraft just using first-person narrative, but you're supposed to believe that everyone died in the lightning strike.
Yeah.
But, all right. I don't think there's much else we can talk about with the picture in the house. I mean, we've
other than it really is a short story.
It's a short story. It's only a few pages.
And it's all over on the internet. You
Yeah.
can read it for free.
Yep. Or watch it on YouTube for free. You just gotta filter through who you want telling you the story, because some people are great, some people are not so great. But that's the nature of the beast. All right. Up next, after this commercial break, we will be talking about The Cabin in the Woods. And we'll be talking about what it's drawn from and what it draws to. All right. So, after the break.
Welcome to Useless Stranger.
Hi, I'm Rob Whiten from the Innsmouth Book Club. Join me and my fellow guide John Chadwick as we take you on a fortnightly tour of Innsmouth. We visit places such as the Picture House, the Library and Innsmouth Museum to discuss all aspects of weird fiction, whether it be book, film, music, TV or art. As well as that, we stop over at the Gilman House to have a chat with a resident guest. That includes authors, artists, musicians, in fact Lovecraftian creatives of all types. You can find our free shows on Patreon And there you can also sign up as a patron, which brings you bonus content, plus a monthly PDF copy of Innsmouth News, which features articles, author spotlights, all the latest news and reviews, and more. You can find us at patreon.com/InnsmouthBC. We hope to see you soon, because remember, Innsmouth isn't just a place, it's a state of mind.
Check out the show notes or go to pgttcm.com for more information. And also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all the other places where podcast stuff exists. All right, back to the show.
In Legacy Door, a lurker from space casts a shadow over time.
We opened our eyes upon the human world. We found ourselves lying on an especially yielding bed in a room displaying scattered relics of their shallow past, tied together by more recently produced items meant to blend with the relics. Typical.
A sensitive journalist dreams of unknown lives.
It seems like every time I close my eyes, they get stronger. I can't even say the last time I had a normal sleep, let alone a dreamless one.
An outspoken lawyer defends the suspect in an unspeakable crime.
And that client was Jonathan Strauss, held for the murder of his daughter Abigail and her companion Harrison Reese.
And a stalwart investigator tries to drag it all into the light.
Some of the Reeses and the Strausses have been involved with something that seems to include an obsession with bloodlines and longevity for at least decades.
Legacy Door is a weekly cosmic horror mystery podcast. An ensemble of actors tell a story, also available in paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. Available now.
Hey everyone, we are back. And we are talking about Cabin in the Woods, 2009, 2011?
Okay, well, it was...
Not released.
Yeah, I was just going to say it was produced in 2009, but it didn't actually get released till 2011 because it was in production hell.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And between that,
yes,
Chris Hemsworth becomes Thor.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I always forget that Chris Hemsworth is in this.
Baby Thor.
Yep. No, this is a movie more or less about a cabin in the woods. I feel like this movie is kind of hard to talk about without spoiling it. And then I remember, they kind of spoil it for you after about a little bit of time. You're like, what's going on? There's something. Yeah. There's a group of college students. I don't want to say that they're high school students. I don't think they're high school students. Pretty sure.
I think it's very, very much.
They're like college. They're college age, yeah.
Because Dana's teacher is a professor.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. And but it's basically a bunch of college students going to a cabin in the woods that someone's family knows about, and they're going to go camping in the woods. We're not really camping, but staying in a cabin.
Yeah.
But there's also something going on with people who are in some sort of organization that are watching the people who are in the cabin in the woods. And there's some sort of technicians, some sort of like group of people that are studying and guessing and taking bets. Yeah, betting on what's going to happen. And, what's going to happen with this remote cabin in the woods, what's going to happen with monsters, who's going to kill what, and people start acting differently. The college students start acting differently than when they first appeared, or most of them do start acting differently from the beginning. And Encore, do you want to talk about like the type of college students that we have? Because I would just say
stereotypes. You have the quote-unquote virgin, although we realized later that, she's not a virgin, but, they take what they can get.
Sure, yeah.
And you got the stoner.
Yeah.
And you have the ditzy blonde girl who's over sexualized. And then you have like the jock.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like there's another stereotype. I guess maybe like the token person of color is probably his main.
I think it's like the scholar, the fool,
oh, that's right. This is really smart. Yeah,
the virgin, and the whore.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I believe. My notes say. But they all go to the woods. And stuff happens.
Yep.
and let's just be blunt. We can't talk about this without spoilers. So.
Go watch it if you haven't seen it yet, and then come back.
So this is the point where you're supposed to turn off the podcast right now, go watch the movie, and then remember that you need to finish listening to the podcast a couple days later. So now that everyone's caught up and we've all seen the movie, isn't this a great movie, everyone?
So the reason I watched it is someone came up to me and said, if you made a horror movie, it would be this. And that was one of the greatest compliments after seeing it. I go, gee, that guy really thought I was, a great person.
And I remember seeing this after, because I'm not a huge Joss Whedon fan. Actually, I kind of avoid Joss Whedon. I always have.
I had honestly forgotten that this was his. I'm like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. I always thought Joss Whedon's directing style was kind of terrible and gross. I didn't like the way he slowed down on women eating. I don't know. Watch his stuff. You'll notice it. It's weird.
About Josh now.
Yeah, and it's like, and then when a bunch of stuff came out about him, I was like, oh my god, I was justified in not wanting to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Not the movie, but the TV show. I don't think he had anything to do with the movie.
Yeah, he wrote.
No.
He wrote.
Oh, did he?
Oh, boo. But anyway, someone said, you should watch this. I know you don't like Joss Whedon, but you should watch this. And I'm like, why? And they're like, it kind of is reminiscent of the Evil Dead franchise. And I'm like, that's all you had to say. I'm sorry. I love Evil Dead. I love all the Evil Dead movies that came out before a certain period of time. And I've seen some of the new ones, and I tried to watch Ash versus the Evil Dead, but there's just a certain tone in the first three movies. I know each different movie has a totally different tone, but the tone in those three movies, it shifts drastically, is so awesome. I mean, the original Evil Dead, I've been scared by that movie. I've watched it by myself and been frightened, and that's kind of cool. I mean, that's what I like about it. And this movie, even though there's that there's something going on, that there's people involved in it trying to orchestrate what you would see in a horror movie, there's still stuff that's wait a minute, what's going on? And it's like that adds a lot more tension, when they switch back and forth between the technicians and the subjects, that it's what is going on? Why are they doing this? What is the final thing? Why are they showing students in Japan? What the hell is this? And you come to find out that this is an organization that keeps the world from ending by sacrificing young people to an elder god. For those of you who've watched it a while back, but yeah, no, that's the whole shtick with the agency that, the shady government-esque agency that's, I guess, a global agency.
Yeah.
But no, this has so many different references to so many different horror movies.
It's literally horror movie, tropes, the horror movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, definitely.
In fact, I did something a couple years ago that I believe that DB is going to release about the same time, where I discuss all the monsters in the box.
Mhm.
Oh,
all of them.
fun.
For
I love that.
25 minutes, I go over the different monsters in the box.
And something I don't think you went over in that is like not necessarily a monster, but definitely the trope of the harbinger of doom. There's the gentleman who works, I believe, at the gas station or is connected with the gas station.
I love the harbinger.
And it reminds me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I was going to say it reminds me, and is probably a reference to the first Friday the 13th, where you have the guy who's like, "Stay away from Camp Blood, Camp Blood."
I love how like they talk to him on the phone, and he's like, "I'm not on speakerphone." And he's like making fun of him the whole time. It's so funny.
Yes.
That's something I love about this movie too, because I'm a sucker for horror comedy, especially a horror comedy that like is still like got it, like it is scary and there is like, you know, blood and gore and stuff, but it's also like really funny.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, because I'll say that I like a good horror comedy, and people are like, "Oh, you mean like oh man, what is the franchise?" Oh man, it's not
Scary movie.
Scary Movie. Yeah, it's like, oh, and I'll be like, no, not like that, but like Cabin in the Woods or Ghostbusters or Evil Dead 2.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah. Those movies actually have scary elements to them, and it's like Scary Movie. It's gross out jokes. You don't actually are like, ooh, I'm afraid. Cause
I love Scary Movie, but yeah, it's not a horror movie.
No, it's a referential movie.
It's horror movie tropes. But
and, it's like I've never watched a Scary Movie and been like, oh no, I'm afraid. It's like, how did they get David Cross to do this? But
Cabin in the Woods does to horror movies what Zoe Ash does to Cyberpunk, or Michael Myers. Now I'm having an old person moment. Austin Powers does to the Bond movies.
Oh yeah.
It is both a send-up and a loving tribute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to do. That's hard to write.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Getting that balance.
Yeah.
And they do here.
And you know, Dave's piece that will be up around the same time that this pops up. Yeah, no, there's so many. It's like I remember watching it and being like, oh, that's a reference to Hellraiser. Oh, that's a reference to this. Oh, that's a reference to that. That's a reference to these. And just being like excited that I knew what all the references were. And it's like, I don't know, the technicians when they're like making bets and stuff like that, looking at like pausing and looking at everything on the board to be like
monsters,
it's finding out and like slowing down in the box, you know, looking at all the different monsters and being like,
so
oh my
much.
god.
And that's the one that like hooked me. I'm like, I love this movie so much.
Cannibal mutant zombies are not the same as regular zombies.
No.
It's like the difference between an elephant and an elephant seal.
Yep. Yeah, no, this is a really good film, and I guess it was only produced by Joss Whedon, so you know.
Correct, and I think he had a co-writing.
Okay.
I think he had a co-writing. So the other guy who wrote it, who did among other things like the Daredevil TV series, Drew Goddard, he grew up in Los Alamos.
Okay.
And so he knew, see, all these people who went to work, paid their taxes, saw themselves as good Americans, and were literally creating the possibility of the end of the world.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And that's what these technicians are.
Yeah.
They're a version of that sort of that he took inspiration from, is that they see they're the good guys. They're the people who do the 9-to-5 job that might end the world.
Yeah.
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 That, and it has the greatest female character actress ever.
Okay.
Amy Archer.
Okay.
Amy Acker.
Oh,
I absolutely love Amy Acker in anything she does.
okay.
And I think that she is terribly underrated. She's the tech Wendy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes. I was trying to remember. Yes.
Yeah, she was Fred in Angel. She's been like the best friend or the bad guy. She was the double agent in Alias last season.
Sure.
So yeah. She does a lot of weird and stuff, but
Yeah, I only know her from Cabin in the Woods. I'm like looking through all of her stuff, and it's like, yeah, I only know Cabin in the Woods. I think I saw Catch Me If You Can, but yeah, that's about it. No, I didn't see that episode of Wishbone.
Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
Supernatural. She was Kelly Payton in Alias.
Yeah, no. Just looking through it all, and it's like a whole bunch of stuff I've never, ever seen. And it's like, okay, well, that's cool.
She was the leader of the Shield's Portland girlfriend.
Okay.
Agent Shield. She was Agent Coulson's cellist Portland girlfriend.
Somebody we might all know that's also in this movie is Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And apparently Jamie Lee Curtis and Bruce Campbell were possible people they wanted for that role. But
oh, yeah, no, both of those would have been great for that, too.
In my universe, the Sigourney Weaver character in One Dimension in this movie is the same Sigourney Weaver type character that she plays in Paul. It's the same character, but they're in different universe. One fights aliens, the other fights supernatural.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, yes. I was trying to remember that. Yes.
She does. It's the same character.
Yeah.
Oh, also the coffee mug bong was actually something you could use as a coffee mug and a bong, and they had to get somebody to make it, and it was like $5,000.
It cost a lot more than $5,000. I watched something on it a while back, and they were like, it's $5,000.
I think that was just, the $5,000 was just for the prototype.
Yeah, the prototype was $5,000, but the whole thing, like the whole construction from beginning to end, all the various ones that they made, it was like $20,000 worth of time and effort. And then various companies have made it and made it sellable, and it's actually usable. But those companies keep going out of business because the fact that when you're trying, a lot of the time it was before the legalization of cannabis throughout North America.
And they may have gotten an eldritch god mad at them.
Yeah. So they may have had problems trying to sell and distribute drug paraphernalia through the mail, just like Tommy Chung. And other places, they had problems with keeping their stock up and producing, and because it's like once they put it out there, all of their stock went away, and they'd be like, well, it's going to be a while before, and just overhead and stuff like that. These businesses, like multiple companies, have figured out how to make this. And if you stick around, I'll show you step-by-step instructions on how to make your. I'm kidding. I do not have that skill.
I don't think it would be that difficult.
I don't think it would be that
difficult. Much money.
No.
And did it really actually? There's no reason it had to actually be functional.
No, they made one that was functional. I'm sure I could figure out how to make one that's 3D printable that you can't use at all. But to have a metal Stanley cup that is all the parts are metal and it telescopes and everything like that, that's fairly complicated stuff, and takes some machining to do. And I'm gonna say, if you're out there and you have one of those, that thing's got to be insane to clean with all the telescoping
Oh my
parts.
God, yeah.
Maybe you only use it once or twice, and it just kind of sits on a shelf with all your other horror memorabilia, with all your other spooky bongs. I don't know. I just work here. But I remember seeing that and being like, oh, that's awesome. Like, even if you don't smoke weed, I think having something like this from the movie would be pretty cool to show to people, be like, check out what I got. But yeah, this movie is really good, and it's really good at kind of showing like oh, hey, stereotypical college students, and then it's like showing how they change, how their personalities change, and
yeah,
it's really interesting. It's really interesting, and there's
yeah, I love how all the different ways they manipulate them, like putting like chemicals in the hair dye when she dyes her hair blonde.
Yeah,
that makes her not as smart. And...
yeah.
But yeah, this is one of those films that it's fairly well written, and it's just visually dense. It's so visually dense,
Mhm.
and it's one of the last great practical effects movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of CG in this, but
yeah, oh yeah.
Also,
but they still, when they could, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of that CG was not shown. It was to coordinate. So they would film like scenes upon scenes and have to layer it.
Yeah.
So they would do a CG version. So when they put the film together, they're not like blocking at each other. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, there is CG, but not like there would be if it was made now.
Yeah. No.
Oh, also a fun fact, I read that it was filmed during that height of like everything was being made in like the real 3D or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I believe they actually shot it with that in mind, but then they're like, no, I don't want to put this out in 3D.
Which I do not like 3D. That elevator would have been cool in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, the elevator scene would have been cool.
But I'm glad I do not like 3D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do and I don't. It has to be a very specific type of movie, and like they have to actually like film it in that way that it really actually, yeah.
What I do love about 3D movies, and I didn't see this in this, so I'm surprised that it was meant to be a 3D at one point in time. 3D movies where it's like Friday the 13th Part 3, when they have scenes where it's like moving stuff to the camera and then away from the camera and then to the camera, or like, reaching out towards the camera, or, someone walking into a scene from, it just like stuff that doesn't seem natural for like a horror movie or natural in anything. It's like, oh, that's why they did the spear thing in that movie. Okay. It's like, but yeah, 3D. Did not expect this to have been filmed in 3D, but yeah. It's about the end of the world.
And we're feeling fine.
Yeah. No, anything else we need to say about Cabin in the Woods? I feel we could talk about it in all kinds of different minuscule ways, get into the nitty-gritty, but I also feel like this is kind of a movie that the less you talk about it in some ways, probably the better off you are for the next time you see it. Just things to watch out for. But it's horror, it's thrill, it's kind of like, I don't know, meta humor and meta commentary on horror movies. And it's kind of like, as we've said before, it's a love letter to horror movies, to people who love horror movies and know horror movies. But also I feel like it's mild enough in some ways that you could take your friend who's like, I don't like horror movies, and you could be like, well, just watch this with me. And they'll go, oh my God, that was fun. I didn't get any of the, I didn't get the references, but that was a fun movie. I've experienced this. My partner, she does not like horror movies, and I do not inflict horror movies on her, but I know what kind of movies she would like, and Sarah liked.
She likes it.
But anyway, I think that's it for today.
I think that's about as far as we can go.
Yeah. Did anyone have any additional notes or anything to say about it?
No, other than the one thing also too is it makes, it's very meta in the fact that it keeps talking about, people watching, and that the elder gods are watching, but in ways it's talking about the audience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That these and in no way is real violence and movie violence the same, but it's saying, it's offering these fictitious characters as a sacrifice to us.
Yeah.
The elder gods that are the audience.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I was just going to say, so like people are always asking, is there going to be a sequel? And it's like, well, how would you do a sequel? Prequel, maybe, but the only thing I think that would be really interesting would be to see the different countries.
Oh, yeah.
Because clearly, like, different countries have their own, like, scary movie tropes, and it'd be really fun to, like, see how theirs would play out.
Yeah, it's
and I love the little Japanese
Yeah, I want to see more of that.
Into a frog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know, it's like we could find out what happened to Stockholm, or
and I could see something done during the apocalypse. So yeah, what was it? But yeah, I think that vote's passed.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons, but yeah. All right. So next week we are talking about the case of Charles Dexter Ward and the 2020 film Possessor. So we're talking about mind control, possession, and the battle of self through technology and sorcery.
And architecture.
All right, thank you all so much, and Aunt Gore and Dave, thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you all next time for People's Guide to Cthulhu Mythos, and goodbye.
Bye.
That was a good episode.
Yes.
And Dave, I did get your... Every musician's got a ritual. Tuning, tone, distortion. Find the tools for yours at reverb.com. New, used, and waiting for you.